Peace. So we're gonna have a look at soulmate messages. These soulmate messages might not be romantic, though you look to the divine partner readings for that. Those I don't know exactly what the frequency of that is gonna be at this time. A lot of people are doing soul work right now on a level that can affect the lovey-dovey aspects of divine partnerships and sacred soulmateships. So this could come up like it could be friends, family members, those who are soulmates to you. Because right now, much what you might require and what's best for you would actually be a soulmate connection that's a friend or a worthy business partner. We're going to see how it comes up. Now, I will tune into the energies of your person, but when I say your person, in the context here, this is who you're dealing with, whether it's a romantic undertone level, while, the elephant's in the room, but y'all aren't dealing with each other right now, or it's someone that you're, actively connecting with. If it's karmic energy, I'll let you know whatever I pick up in karmic dynamics. But when I look at sacred soulmates and your person, like your higher order soulmates, those come up in divine partner readings. So sacred soulmates and divine partners show up there. This is soulmates, which, even your cat could be a soulmate. They came down here to do this thing with you. And, those resident feline gods are, lifesavers, really. And your dogs. All right, so let's see what comes up for y'all. All right, so you got a few reversals in the fire and earth area, which would be like your passion, your embodiment, manifestation, things of that nature. At the top of the deck is teasing me. Ecstatic is the higher frequency, and the shared supportive frequency is rooted. Forever is in the air placement. It's a stellar card. I'm getting like Andromedan vibes here. Some Palladian vibes, but they're like really hidden. Testing our love, jealousy, dissolves is in the water placement. So air would be like mind, water is like emotions. The fire placement, you are mystery and magic, it's reversed. And the earth placement, waiting is the sweetest torment, is reversed. So waiting is the sweetest torment. So you're not waiting anymore. You're not waiting anymore. You're ending the torment. I did take a look at the energies, and it's a Hallows deck that's coming out, and I'll announce it so y'all can get your hands on it and everything. But it's not quite available yet. But what came out here is Rebirth Loves Company, Unseen Assistance, and it could be worse. All right, so these are like guiding energies here, trying to, I feel like, guide you to the right path. It's like you're already on it, but guide you to the point where you can sit down, you can have a cup of coffee, and you can feel comfortable. I love that. Rebirth Loves Company. So I feel like this does have to do for like 50% of y'all, so take it as it resonates with your person. It has to do with the changes you and your person are going through, where you're both going through a highly transformative time on extremely deep levels. You've had to deal with loss. You've had to deal with certain soul lessons for maybe 25% of you that, while they could have been avoided, the undesired outcomes have, manifested in a certain way. So it's kind of like that's done now. So something that you wanted, something that maybe you thought you wanted to be in a certain way, but it didn't come to pass. And you and your person are learning to process those feelings so that it's like as you're creating new dreams and visions from the future, for some of you, so that doesn't come back to haunt you and take your focus off what's good. And also so that you can let the past be the past and you can focus on your development now. It's like you've gotten what would be considered like the wealth of your experiences. You have those templates, you have those Akashic records, if you will. Um, but now, what is there to be explored? What I feel like for you, like what more is there for you as you come into a more pronounced definition of your character that's in absolute harmony, like heart aligned harmony with your true self. And your partner is getting past fears of losing you or loss or you not choosing them and or your person. And that's what's coming out there. So apply this to your situation according to what's resonating with you. You know, you're going to know who's a higher order soulmate and who's not. That's, I feel like it's part of the journey, really. If you're dealing with someone who's afraid to lose you or afraid for you to come into your truer self because they don't feel like you'll check for them or what have you, um, this doesn't mean don't grow. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean don't grow. It means the true love to whatever amount or extent that the two of you have should ideally stand the test of time, you know, or even beyond time, you know what I'm saying? Like if it's a real bond. So this can be a test for certain bonds, like by me, is me being more successful going to mean we don't get along anymore? For those of you that are dealing with karmics, you know, where this now you're realizing, oh wow, you ended up with a karmic connection, not a supportive soulmate. You ended up with someone who it's all gravy as long as you stay small. Who wants that? Someone who's going to truly love you will unconditionally love you on a level where you're on the glow up. Whether or not you fully include me in it, I celebrate you. I always saw that in you. I'm so glad, you know, you're going for yours. I'm not talking about where there are agreements and someone needs to keep an agreement with you or that kind of thing, or at least communicate that they want to solve the agreement, because that's just shisty and it's not, it's a little too shady. You know what I'm saying? On that side, like, of course, you're going to be feeling away. Like, wait a second, this person, I lent them 5Gs. They were supposed to give it back. They started a business. They're making more than enough to give me back my money, and they're not. You have the right to be irritated if you ask me. Spirit's confirming that, you know, in a situation like that. But I'm talking about where, like, those true connections that are really true for you, they want to see you rise. They want to see you happy. So you don't have to sit there and be like worried that if you choose to go with your flow, that if you choose to do what makes you happy, that you are, you know, and it makes you, you know, you're not playing small anymore, that you are going to displease your person. Because ultimately, if it's your person who's meant to be there for the long haul, they're going to grow with you and they're going to be happy for you and they're going to deal with any issues that come up. If they do have some issues with worrying, you know, that they're going to be left behind, they may just have to see that they don't get left behind in this equation. Um, and at minimum to know you'll communicate with them if you need to take space or what have you. So this is, there's a certain, for those like strong relationships that are going to survive these energies, even if you guys do draw away from each other for a little while, like there's always going to be a rapport. There's always going to be a healing, healing's not the word I'm looking for this. You're always going to reach one another on a heart level. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, however you choose to manifest things, and you're going to find ways to communicate because you don't want to be injurious or abusive to one another. And that's what's going to happen here. And you can already kind of tell if that's what you're dealing with. If that's not what you're dealing with, let it go, is what Spirit has to say. Rebirth loves company. I mean, that's like, when we go into like those deeper aspects of ourselves where we're hurting and we don't necessarily want to let other people into that, this is where you, those people that are in true alignment with you, they're going to check on you. They're going to make sure you have some assistance. You know what I'm saying? Some light in your day. Um, they're gonna lift you up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's where the unseen assistance is. Like, do you have assistance that's been helping you out, that's been looking to help you, looking to uplift you, and they've been remaining unseen because you've been fixating on things that aren't good for you, or things that are dragging you down or constantly throw you off track. Um, this is where it's like, remember to pay attention to those who are right there in your corner rooting for you. And part of this is by being self-loving, truly, like really being good to yourself, really taking care of your basis. um really living your life, thriving with vitality. I'm seeing like a really pretty orange. So there's like it's kind of like carnelian colored, somewhere in that range. um get on them sacral chakra affirmations. I feel like, make sure that your foundations and who you connect with is truly in alignment with you emotionally, like it's good for you. There's like a balanced give and receive. um this is going to help you to start building that up, and you can work with that color over, over your sacral chakra. You could work with carnelian, and over your root chakra, I'm being told, as well, to help kind of hydrate your financials for those of you who require that. So in the air placement, forever is like, some of you are thinking long range. You're thinking like, about all the bounty and the abundance and what have you, and it is coming. But right now, over the next couple of weeks, you need to be more focused on the details and the pathways you're laying over the detail areas. Spirit is working with you on this. So that every time you pay attention to details and you feed those details, you are enhancing your foundation. So look at it that way. It might seem arduous. It might seem, I don't feel like doing this, but it's holding you up. And this goes for the people that hold you up. Are you checking on them? Do you have, grandparents who send you money monthly? Do you go check on them, make sure they're all right, they got food in the house, everything's straight? Are you taking, are you looking out for, and this is just for those that need to hear it, are you looking out for those family members that hold position for you with their energy? Because what we neglect, if we're not paying attention to it, it can fade, or it can be like moved on to a different kind of frequency and vibration in accordance with your plight. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're maybe drawing too much energy, um, the ancestors might have to intervene. And so now their energy has to kind of be, just for ease, we'll just say, like, readjusted, so that they're in a state of health that's in more alignment with their resonance. So make sure you're checking on the your unseen assistance, giving reverence to the ancestors. This is a huge deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are not alone. We are watched out for. We are looked for. In corrupt versions of society where they wanted us to be disconnected from our ancestors, it's, look what happened. Look what happened to cultures that disconnected from their ancestors. And I don't want to say disconnected. Let me rephrase. Let me clean that up. Who lost, kind of like lost a more immediate touch. It can always be reclaimed. They're in you. They're connected to you. You know what I'm saying? They're in you. And according to pre-agreement, there are some that always watch out for you. So this becomes, a situation of realigning with health. You came down here for a reason. What supports that reason? This is going to show up now. What and whom supports your reason to be, if you will, because you're meant to be. That's going to show up now. You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be draining you. It's going to give according to what it can, and then you make sure you're giving back. And this is how we keep each other sustained. So winged heart, testing our love, jealousy dissolves. Your haters are realizing how foolish they've been. For those of you where this has to do with just a lot of nonsense you dealt with where your person is concerned, they're realizing they had no idea what they were interfering with. Like, those of you where this is a sacred soulmate ship or divine partnership, they were not meant to intervene and try to take away from this process, because it's an ancestral process, it's a star ancestral process. It's really meant to be. It's really big time for alignments that benefit the world. So it's one of those things that no one should be casting an evil eye on, where your sacred soulmate and divine partnership is concerned. This can be people you've dealt with, or people your person has dealt with. It could be someone you're dealing with right now in terms of sacred soulmate and divine partnership. If you found yourself in a karmic connection that has been not enhancing your life, but draining your life. It's all about them. They criticize you. They abuse you in some kind of way. Like, they don't give back. They don't try to assist. They're not concerned about your supporting you. You know what I'm saying? It's a very clear indication you're not dealing with someone who's in your corner. You're dealing with a karmic connection. And it can take it from me, it can be a very wrong move to stay in that type of dynamic, because this could be keeping you from your sacred soulmate and divine partner. And that's where the love is. That's where what you're looking for is. That's where it aligns perfectly. So get back into those good vibe alignments for those of you, who've come out of alignment, and get away from jealous, evil eye people. Get around those who truly celebrate you and it feels right, it feels real. That's going to be like your indication. And those who are just not very consistent with that, like, just don't entertain that side of them that doesn't show up for you. Like, this is where you go in a different direction. You could even utilize affirmations like, I enjoy the positive and mutually supportive aspects of those I come into contact with. I enjoy the uplifting, mutually supportive features in my relationship bonds with others. And then that way, the stuff you don't enjoy, it's time for you to be somewhere else. It's time for them to be somewhere else. So you don't have to stay in situations that are just a drag, that don't feel right. And that cancels out some of those situations, and where you don't have to feel like labeling this one as karmic, or labeling this one that way, and labeling this one that way. This is you being able to move forward in life and interact with people, but not give them more than they require access to in the way of like your interspatial realm, within. Divine dance is a shared supportive frequency here. So whoever it is that you connect with that's for you, they help bring you into alignment with what is good about you. Like, they help bring you into alignment with what's thriving and it's vital, and you feel good, and it's consistent. It's not, it's consistently like, this is pretty much what this person brings to the table with you. These are the relationships that support that, and be mutually supportive, and just, keep the energy flowing. When it's right like that. I feel like for some of you, there are things you wanted to have happen that didn't work out, but it could have been worse. This could have been in career, in terms of career, in terms of how you wanted things to go, how you saw things. Plans for the future might have really changed, but it really could have been worse. I feel like you had like 75% of the energy that held you up was coming from like ancestors and divine assistance. So that should tell you something. You are important. You know what I'm saying? You are important. It's just, what are you aligning to? And I think you're beginning to learn a heartful lesson in some of what I feel like some of you have told others, which is like, like, love's not supposed to hurt, or it's not supposed to hurt like that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when you're being truly loved, you know it. And when you're being truly loving, you know it. And I feel like getting past the games and just being in your sincerity, being peaceful and loving towards others, but taking a clue from their actions and not their words. If their words don't often amount to actions and they don't follow through, or they don't they do the opposite of what they say they're going to do, or they just talk out of both sides of their mouth, or they talk on you but smile in your face. It really just depends on the dynamic. Look at their actions. It's going to tell you everything you need to know in, like, the current time, and the current time is what you're working with creatively. So if this is how they're showing up right now, then how do you deal with that? Well, what's your true response to that? I'm not trying to hear all that. Then their energy might not belong around you at this time, because if that's where they are, they can't really bring very much to you that's uplifting. So that must mean you're meant to be connected differently right now. You know what I'm saying? You're meant to have a different connection or set of connection points right now. Those that are jealous of your aptitudes, your talents, your skills, and what it can do for you, they're not meant to be around you. Not saying that's forever, but that's where they are at this time. So I feel like the whole "it could be worse" is like, it's going to get a whole lot better because you don't have that influence corrupting your view, your lens, your vision. And you're going to act according to your vision, because that's what you do when you're not being obstructed by the confusion or the false interfaces that others might be influenced by at any given time. So you always want to take it back to the heart. How does my heart feel about this? And ask for ancestral guidance. There may be more to the story, but they can tell you the best way to move on a certain issue towards an outcome that's going to culminate to a prosperous, happy situation, to the degree of what's earned, and what should be rightfully given for anyone involved. So forgiveness is not a bad thing, but forgetness can lead to repeating cycles unnecessarily. So this is more a time you can forgive, but retain the wisdom that this right here, you're not dealing with a situation with someone who's not going to show up for you when you're, either in need, or you really require the support, and they can, you feel like they can certainly feel it in their soul, and they're just not showing up. Peace be upon them. Let them be on whatever energy frequency they think they want to be on. Your energy will come back to you just by you doing that, and move on. And some cases, see if they don't show up asking for more, but be wise. Because if they're showing up with that same taker dynamic, or that same "what can I get out of this" with little investment, they're going to be sorely mistaken. You're not that person anymore. You are changing where that's concerned. You've learned what you needed to learn, and you might even surprise yourself with how much you are not feeding into that anymore, and your whole life's going to change because of it. And you have ample support from the spirit realms, and apt support is, you know what I'm saying, from the spirit realms. Like, they know exactly how this works, how it needs to move, and where your blessings are going to land. And it's in your garden, but it's going to land in a way that ensures parasites and takers don't show up for the best of the harvest. They might not even be able to make it to you, because they just might show up to take, as they have before. Wish them well, and keep moving on the path of your dreams. They'll wake up eventually. Everyone does. Spirit is saying. So your mystery and magic is reversed here. It's a heart-opening card for the higher frequency, and dream forever is a shared supportive subtext. So I feel like some of you have been neglecting your works, like your inner works, your scholarly works, your the deep work you do. It has a Syrian feel to it, and it's right across from forever. Actually, the card forever, which is a stellar card, but this has a Syrian feel to it, where it's like, what have you been neglecting as far as what's really your profound insights, your higher God's given gifts, your stellar wisdom. That's what Spirit's giving me, stellar wisdom. You're opening on that level, on a third eye level, but you've been blocking it. It's been fear that's causing you to block it. Your spirit guidance is doing its best to help you with this process. A lot of it just involves cleaning the lens, cleaning how you look at things, allowing your higher ancestry, this would be like star ancestry, even priesthood and priestesshood, to get you in proper alignment with your course now. Some of you are like scribes, and you're meant to be chronicling things, journaling things, coming into insights to share with others. It could be in book form. Who knows? Maybe, maybe it'll be in an artistic form. Maybe you'll speak through, images. You know what I'm saying? But this is where you require a certain amount of being self-collected. So work with the color indigo to bring yourself back in balance here. And this will pretty much heal your third eye issues. You can get yourself some like indigo, that's safe, like a food grade type of non-staining, color that you can add to the bath. Chromotherapy is a thing. So it's CHROMATHERAPY. And you can do the chromotherapy, and I'm telling you, it hydrates you so deeply on those levels. You can also incorporate indigo into your wardrobe, meditate with the color indigo, get an indigo light bulb, and sleep with that at night. You know what I'm saying? And this will help align you, like, within two weeks. If you start doing it now, it's like, or just anytime really, it'll be about 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll be bringing your focus to the right vibration, which is where you're meant to be in alignment, and it has a lot to do with your life path. Some of you might switch vocations because of it, or what you're doing now might become more of a side thing. At least for a while, so that you can do what you came to do. You know what I'm saying? So it also helps you to be flexible, rehydrating yourself with that indigo vibration. So Spirit is guiding me to waiting is the sweetest torment. It's reversed. And I feel like it's awesome that it's reversed. It's another divine dance card. So it's right, like on the water earth axis or of polarity. It's also a divine dance card. So I feel like you're tired of not living your life. So some of you are cutting some things off, some people off, some behaviors, some practices. And because you want to be able to spread your wings, you want to be able to live happy, to live joyfully. Spirit's correcting me. You want to be able to live joyfully. You want to be able to enjoy the fruits of your labors, and you're going to, because you're doing this. Like, it is done already. The fact that this card came out that way, like, it's done. You don't have to, like, be in a state of any kind of emotional torment or what have you, or any, like torment where it's like this, because you're waiting for the sweetness to come out of the situation. Like, the sweetness has always been available to you. It was just you coming into alignment with it and believing it could be yours. No more suffering can be put towards that. It's like damaging to the structure of what is meant for you in the future moving forward. All right. So I feel like here, unseen assistance is really popping out to me. Like, the rebirth loves company. I feel like this is what we're talking about here on the earth level, how things are showing up and manifesting from all this soul work. Like, having that place, that comfortable place to be, having that place where you can gather your energy, whether it's within, or whether it's for those of you who have been dealing with changes of residence, what have you, which could be a change of residence, right? This is where you're able to really have a rebirthing experience. It's kind of coming through for some of y'all, where it's like you curl up in a little ball, you you're able to be hydrated and receive good vibes while you're pulling yourself together there. And as a result, you have this new vision show up for you where you're beginning to see like, wow, I'm being taken care of. I'm seeing like sacred spirals. I'm seeing gold, crystalline, like some gold and some crystalline stuff going on here. Where you're coming into, it's like the inner spatial bounty of all your hard work. And it's inevitably manifesting in your physical life as well. So work with those colors, Spirit says. Indigo, gold, and crystals. Get yourself like a bunch of quartz crystals and attune them. You can ask, the higher angelic to attune them, you can ask Archangel Uriel, can you please attune this to my highest vantage point for the betterment of my life, so my vision is in alignment with the best, most healthiest course for me and my beloveds. You know what I'm saying? Like this way, you're putting your energy in the right alignment. You know what I'm saying? And then have them around you, charge them. I'm getting moonlight is really what's the best thing to do here. Charge them in moonlight, but have them around. You just have them around, like, it could be your work area where you read or research or study. You can have them at different places in the house, and they'll raise the resonance and keep your mind focused with your highest track available in this time space calibration of frequency and vibration where your life is concerned. This way you can keep a strong footing on what is meant for you and what the ancestors have been trying to give you for the longest. So what you've let go of, it's like not even as if it seems like the Spirit's not even really trying to get into all that. It's like it's been draining you. That's the simple answer. And you're worth way more than what you've been given. You're capable of more. Having people establish roadblocks out of their own ignorance, it doesn't serve. It served for a lesson, a long, unhappy lesson. Those blocks are being removed more and more with every passing second. You won't have to revisit it. Not from a place of being a victim. If you have to revisit it, that person will be apologizing, or those people involved will be compensating you in some way, seeking your forgiveness. This is what's coming through. So it must be what's getting ready to happen. Because they took too much. And now they have to deal with that feeling of something coming to take from them. And how did they sound coming to you, asking you to get them out of a hard situation they allowed themselves to get into, like, again, or after they left you to kind of like air out and figure out your own situations after you kind of contributed to their upliftment. So they're learning why it's not good to be shisty. They're learning why when you discount loyal people, you realize you were deeply blessed, and it takes some time to make peace with oneself when that realization comes to bear. So animal totems, really quickly, cat is an excellent animal totem for right now to be working with, especially at night when you're sleeping. Spider for rebuilding your life is what Spirit is saying. So like a spider, spider art, it's good for the living room to keep the structure in integrity. um, of good energy flowing throughout your house. Um, could also do like spider webs. I mean, it is kind of the theme for the season, so you might as well have some higher intent of how the symbolism will positively affect your life going on in it, right? Um, yeah, that's pretty much what's coming through. What spirit is giving me, and it. Remember, it could be worse. Like this only looks bad. It could turn over in a day or two, some of the worst of the feeling. And with that will be some refreshed opportunities that you'd either forgotten about or you weren't realizing are as viable as they are, and you'll be on your way. You know what I'm saying? You're in the next 3 weeks, your money will improve majorly, where you're not like worried anymore about, could be payment arrangements or this bill or that bill. Like good things are coming to support your structure. Work with that carnelian over your sacral chakra. Um, get yourself grounded in your work where you're able to move steadily, but like y'all are able to move at a faster speed while moving steadily. So like being in that flow is so much to your advantage right now. Ignore the distractions and spirits saying they know you will because there's nothing else for it. It like whatever would be coming to distract you away from your abundance path feels like it has nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even a question. Like it's like, nah, I don't have time for that. It's not bringing any vitality to you. It's just coming to suck energy away from you. And that's how you know. All right, y'all. I hope this was helpful. You can always log on to www.kissoracle.com. Be putting up some posts, so there will be like some written readings and fun things that will be available. I did have some things that I had to focus on in my life that introduced some delays to the process. And I thank you for your patience. Where that is concerned, but there will be more going up in the way of what you can utilize on your self-love journey, your sacred union journey, your inner child healing journey, and so on and so forth. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.